There is a truth that many people avoid, a truth that separates those who dream from those who achieve, those who wish from those who do, and that truth is simple. Discipline will take you where motivation cannot. Motivation is a spark. It is bright, it is exciting, it is powerful, but it is fleeting. It rises and fades, it burns and disappears. It comes when things are easy and leaves when things are hard. But discipline is steady. It is the quiet force that carries you forward when every part of you wants to stop. It is the choice to move even when you feel nothing. It is the habit that builds greatness brick by brick, day after day. We live in a world that glorifies motivation. We are told to chase inspiration, to wait for passion, to feel ready. But the truth is, you will never always feel ready. You will never always feel inspired if you wait for motivation. You will wait forever because motivation is an emotion, and emotions are temporary. Discipline, on the other hand, is a decision. It is the structure that holds you together when emotion fails. It is what keeps you walking when the excitement has vanished. It is the muscle of the mind that says, I will do this, not because I feel like it, but because primera said, primera wall. Discipline is the bridge between goals and results. It is the daily repetition of small actions that compound into something greater. It is waking up when the alarm rings, even when your body craves rest. It is showing up for your craft, even when no one is watching. It is saying no to distractions, even when they promise comfort. Discipline is the proof that your commitment is stronger than your mood. It is the evidence that you are in control, not your impulses, not your fears, not your laziness. Motivation will start the journey, but discipline will finish it. Think of every person who has built something meaningful: an athlete, an artist, an entrepreneur, a writer. None of them relied on motivation. They relied on consistency. They showed up on the days when they were tired, when they were uninspired, when they were unsure. They understood that the difference between success and mediocrity is not talent, it is consistency. Discipline is what turns potential into progress. It is what turns dreams into achievements. To build discipline, you must first accept that it will not always feel good. The path is not about comfort. It is about growth, and growth by nature is uncomfortable. You will face resistance from your body, from your mind, from the world. But discipline is the ability to act in spite of resistance. It is the art of doing what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. Every time you act despite discomfort, you strengthen your willpower, you revivir your brain, you build resilience. The truth about success is that it does not come from one grand moment. It comes from thousands of small choices repeated over time. Discipline is brushing your teeth of the soul. It is the daily maintenance that prevents decay. It is the routine that builds identity. Every day you follow through, you tell yourself, I am the kind of person who keeps promises. I am the kind of person who finishes what I start, and that belief becomes your foundation. Most people fail not because they lack motivation, but because they lack structure. They rely on feeling rather than principle. They wait for the right mood rather than creating the right habit. But success belongs to those who act independently of their mood, who build systems that work even when they do not feel like working. The key is to remove decision fatigue, to create routines that automate success. When you wake up, you do not debate, you simply do. It becomes part of who you are. Discipline is freedom. It may sound paradoxical, but it is true. When you are disciplined, you free yourself from chaos. You free yourself from guilt, from regret, from wasted time, because discipline creates order, and order creates peace. When you have discipline, you no longer live at the mercy of impulse. You no longer drift. You move with direction. You create momentum, and momentum creates confidence. Motivation tells you you can do it. Discipline says, do it anyway. Motivation is a friend that visits. Sometimes discipline is a companion that never leaves. It is there in the early mornings and late nights. It is there in the silence when no one claps. It is there when the path feels endless. It is a quiet whisper that says, keep going, discipline is loyalty to your future. Self-it is the promise you make to who you want to become. You build discipline the same way you build strength, through repetition, through practice, through persistence. Start small, commit to something simple and follow through every single day. It could be waking up at the same time reading a few pages, exercising for 10 minutes. Consistency is the seed once planted. It grows every time you keep your word. You add to your power. Every time you break it, you weaken your foundation. Discipline grows when you honor your word. The mind will resist, it will try to negotiate. It will say just this once. Skip it, rest tomorrow, start again, later, but discipline sees through the lies. Discipline says no. Discipline says, this is who I am. It is not about being perfect, it is about being relentless. Every time you fall, you stand back up. That is discipline. It is not the absence of failure, it is the refusal to surrender. Motivation fades, but habits remain. Discipline is built on habit. It thrives on repetition. The more you do something, the easier it becomes. The less you rely on willpower, the more you rely on identity. At first, you have to force it, but one day you wake up and realize you no longer have to think about it. It has become who you are. And that is when you become unstoppable. Success is rarely about talent, it is about persistence. The ones who win are not always the smartest or the strongest. They are the ones who refuse to quit. They are the ones who wake up every day and do the work, even when the results are invisible, because they trust the process. Discipline teaches patience. It teaches endurance. It teaches faith. Faith in yourself and in the process. Discipline is also a form of self-respect. It is saying, I value my time. I value my dreams. I value my life too. Much to waste it. It is love expressed through consistency. It is the act of showing up for yourself, even when no one else does, because deep down, you know you are worth the effort. Motivation may get you applause, but discipline builds character. Discipline builds integrity. Discipline builds legacy. To live with discipline, you must learn to control your environment, to remove temptation, to create spaces that support your growth. You cannot expect strength to thrive in weakness. Set boundaries, eliminate distractions, simplify your life. Success is not about doing more, it is about doing what matters. Discipline helps you focus on the essential. It teaches you to say no to the noise, so you can say yes to your purpose. Many people confuse motivation with emotion, but emotion is a wave, it rises and falls. Discipline is the ocean beneath it, steady, vast, unshakable. When you anchor yourself in discipline, you stop being tossed around by emotion. You learn to ride the wave without losing yourself. That is power. That is mastery. Every morning, when you wake up, you face a choice. The easy way or the disciplined way. The easy way offers comfort now and regret. Later, the disciplined way offers discomfort now and freedom later. Discipline is choosing your future over your present. It is choosing growth over pleasure, meaning over distraction, purpose over comfort. Every act of discipline is an act of love for your future self. Motivation asks, how do I feel today? Discipline asks, what needs to be done? Motivation is driven by excitement. Discipline is driven by commitment. When you build discipline, you stop needing to feel good to do good. You stop relying on the external. You start relying on the internal. And that is when you become powerful, because nothing outside of you can stop what is built within you. Discipline also creates clarity. It clears the fog of indecision. It gives structure to chaos. It helps you move with intention rather than reaction. When you are disciplined, your actions align with your values. Your days align with your goals, and that alignment creates peace. You no longer waste energy wondering what to do. You simply do it. You follow the path you have chosen. The truth is, everyone wants success, but few are willing to pay its price, and that price is discipline. It is doing what others will, not so you can live how others cannot. It is showing up again and again, especially when it is hard, because success is not built on comfort, it is built on consistency. Every act of discipline is a deposit in the bank of progress, and one day, when the balance is full, the results appear suddenly to others, but you will know it was never sudden. It was built in silence. Discipline also builds humility. It reminds you that progress takes time, that mastery requires patience. It teaches you to fall in love with the process, not the outcome, to find meaning in the daily grind, to take pride in effort, not just results. Discipline transforms the ordinary into sacred, turns every repetition into a prayer, every action into devotion. The world celebrates quick wins, but discipline values endurance. Anyone can start, but few can continue. Anyone can dream, but few can persist. Discipline separates those who wish from those who will win. You live with discipline. You no longer need to announce your intentions, your actions speak. Your consistency speaks, your results speak. And yet discipline is not punishment, it is liberation. It frees you from dependency on fleeting feelings. It gives you stability. In a changing world, it grounds you when everything else shifts. It teaches yourself mastery, and there is no greater power than mastering yourself. If you want success in any area of life, health, relationships, business, art, you must replace motivation with discipline, because motivation will fail you when you need it most, but discipline will carry you when you have nothing left. It will push you through exhaustion, through boredom, through doubt. It will whisper, keep going, when your mind screams, stop. Discipline is not glamorous. It is not loud. It is not easy, but it is real. It is lasting. It is powerful. Remember that every act of discipline compounds. Every day you show up, you build momentum, and momentum is unstoppable once it begins. Every small step counts. Every small choice matters. Success is built one disciplined act at a time, one repetition at a time, one decision at a time. Do not underestimate the power of one more day, one more push, one more try. Discipline multiplies over time until it becomes unstoppable. And there will be days when you fall, when you fail, when you question everything, and that is when discipline matters most, because it is not about perfection. It is about persistence. It is not about winning every day. It is about returning every time. No matter how many times you stumble, discipline says get up again, try again, move again, keep going, because that is how you grow. The longer you practice discipline, the more natural it becomes. It becomes your identity, your default, your way of being. You begin to crave consistency. You begin to love the feeling of progress more than the illusion of comfort. You begin to realize that the reward is not just the outcome, it is the person you become along the way. Discipline is transformation from within. When you live with discipline, you learn to respect time. You understand that time is life, and wasting it is the greatest loss. You prioritize what matters, you cut what does not. You live intentionally, and that intention creates fulfillment. It creates meaning. Success without discipline is fragile, but success built on discipline lasts because it is earned. So do not chase motivation, build discipline. Do not wait to feel ready. Act now. Start small, be consistent, show up every day, no matter how you feel, no matter how slow it seems. Progress is progress. Discipline will build your future, one decision at a time. Because in the end, motivation is a moment. Discipline is a lifestyle. Motivation is noise. Discipline is silence. Motivation is fleeting. Discipline is forever. And that is the real secret to success.